Islam. I am Gabor Alyosha Bey, Morris American, natural person, appropriate persona and not pro se, and not a corporate person, nom de guerre, straw man, and not any fraudulent instrument ascribed in all capital letters. With that being said, I am Morris National, domicile in North America, near Miami Territory, Florida Republic, better known to you, Little 80. Now, my first in everything before everything is giving praise to the Almighty God, the creator of all. I would like to give honor to Noble Drew Ali for bringing me back into the fold, the Republican fold of government to enforce the Constitution. Now I have here what I'm about to read to you, straight out of the Bible, the scripture, Daniel 2:23, and I quote, "I thank and praise you, God of my ancestors. You have given me wisdom and power. You have made it known to me what we ask of you. You have made known to us the dream of a king." Now, today's topic is, what I have here today is driver's license versus travel. And I have sovereign and corporation. First, we're going to start with corporation. When you was born, you got to understand, when you was born, your mama signed you over to the state. But when you was born, you was sovereign. Brother Dean, what you mean by sovereign? Well, sovereign means when you was born, you was a king. You was a ruler. You was a master. You was the highest supreme chief. And then when the colonizers, the Europeans, took your birth record or your record of birth and created a corporation. That's right, they made you a corporation, if you didn't know that. Because United States of America, United States, Title 28, 3002, Section 15A states that the United States is a federal corporation, not government. So corporations only can deal with corporations. So understand that when they created a birth certificate, they made us, you, a corporation. So understand that. In a corporation, first we're going to deal with sovereign. Brother Dean, what is sovereign? Sovereign is, once again, the highest chief on the land. Okay? So you got to understand, you've been sovereign. When you was born, you were sovereign. You was the highest chief of the land. And they created you into a corporation. A corporation means an entity, a corpse, which cannot talk, cannot pick up a pencil, do not have a bone, do not do none of that stuff. You just in this, you like a wall or a chair. But let me give you the definition of corporations so you can understand. This is coming out the Black 4th edition dictionary. Remember, when you're using dictionaries, you have to go way back. 4th edition or earlier. Let me give you the definition of a corporation. And I quote, "As a matter of interpretation of the word person in the 14th Amendment, U.S. court have extended certain constitutional protection to corporations. Generally, corporations are not able to claim constitutional protection that would not otherwise be available to person acting as a group." So you ask yourself, is a company a natural person? because you was born sovereign, a natural person, and then you became a corporation, meaning a dead entity. Okay? Understand, in jurisprudence, meaning knowledge of or skill in law. A natural person in legal meaning, i.e., one who has its own legal personality. That is an individual human being as opposed to a legal person, which may be a private, i.e., business entity or non-government organization, or public, i.e., government organization. A straw man, a nom de guerre. Okay? So when you see anything that's in your name issued by the state in all capital letters, remember, you is a corporation. If you pull your license out and look at your license, it's in all capital letters. You is a corporation. As you look at your birth certificate and it's all capital letters, you is a corporation. If you look at your social security card, it's in all capital letters, you is a corporation. If you look at your birth certificate and it's in all capital letters, you is a corporation. Your kids is a corporation. You signed them over to the state at birth. Then they make you, which is a 14th Amendment citizen of all of the U.S., which is a, let me give you a definition of the 14th Amendment U.S. citizen. The 14th Amendment U.S. citizen to the U.S. Constitution, ratified in 1868, granted citizenship to all persons born or naturalized in the United States, including former slaves, and guaranteed all citizens equal protection of the law. So, once you become a 14th Amendment citizen, you become a U.S. slave. When you become a U.S. citizen, you become a U.S. slave. Understand that. That's why it's important for the people to declare your nationality. Okay, it took me 40 years. So understand, I didn't know this when I was much younger, but I know now. After you become a corporation, they issue you a social security card, because social security card is that's where they get the tax out of you during your life cycle. They give you a social security card, so they can pull a social security card up and tell that you haven't been working. They can pull a social security number up and tell that you have been working. In Canada, they call it a social insurance number, meaning you was born a sin, S-I-N. When they say you was born a sin in church, that's what they talking about, S-I-N. You was born in ignorance. You don't know. So understand, you was born a sin. Social insurance number, S-I-N. Okay? So that you working, the boss man don't ask you a question, don't ask you nothing. They just take money out your social security card, out your social security number. Excuse me. So let me give you the definition of social security number. They are being taxed via social security number. They present is as a contribution. They present it as a contribution. And a contribution is voluntarily. So nobody can tell you Social Security is mandatory. I just gave you right here, it's voluntarily. Therefore, you decide if you are or are not an active member making voluntarily contribution or not. They also present a contribution to an insurance policy as mandatory VA threat and coercion, which is the violation. They can't do that. It's a violation of your First Amendment in regards to your rights to free association. So, hey, Social Security is mandatory. Oh, no, it's not. It's a voluntary contribution. Remember, it's a voluntary contribution. Do not get upset if they take Social Security out, because every corporation gets a benefit for not reporting another corporation for the purpose of contribution. Understand that. Okay? The truth and falsehood is strangely mixed. So we gotta, don't be confused. We gotta know who we are. Know thyself. Okay? The following is a brief paragraph that explains your position in not having a social security number and not participating in that private Social Security Administration policy, and how it can and ought to be utilized to admonish forced coercions. Offers are made from many angles to convince and coerce you. It is your decision. It is not a mandatory government must do. Once again, it's not a must that you pay, that your check be withhold of the Social Security. Understand that. And I'm going to give you legal talk, and I'm going to give you lawful talk. So I understand, Brother Dean, I know you're off the street, you talk that legal stuff. But you got to understand, God gave me power and God gave me wisdom, so I can give you legal talk also. Okay? So it is your decision. Okay? So you got to understand, it is your decision. Understand, under the Privacy Act 1971, Section 7, A1, it quotes, "It shall be unlawful for any federal, state. It shall be lawful for any federal, state, or local government agencies to deny to any individual any right, benefits, or privilege provided by law because of such individual refusing to disclose his or her Social Security number." Understand that. I will repeat that. It shall be unlawful, not legal, unlawful, for any federal, state, or local government agencies to deny to any individual any rights, privilege, benefits provided by law because of such individual refuse to disclose his or her Social Security number. So understand that. Well, Brother Dean, they might not hire me for not providing my Social Security number. Well, right here under Title 42 U.S.C. 408, it states, "It is a felony to use threat, duress, or coercion to try to force a person by fear or dissent to provide a Social Security." I repeat, Title 42 U.S.C. 408, it is a felony to use threats, duress, or coercion to try to force a person by fear or dissent to provide a Social Security. Where I'm getting this from, Title 42. This is not my opinion, so you can't say Brother Dean told you, or it's Brother Dean's opinion. You understand that? So you got to go up your lungs, boss. Don't be scared. Stop being pumped out. Let these people know who you is, my brother. It's hey man, enforce the law. That's what it's all about, enforcing the law, not statutes and codes. So don't get crossed up in that European mess. Understand that colonizers came here. They immigrated to your land, your mother's and forefathers' land, and they trying to tell you what to do. Oh no, you was on my land. I don't ask permission. I was born sovereign, the ruler, the master, the supreme chief. So now that you know that when you was young, you was born a sovereign, and then they created you into a corporation. You go into the next level, you know, second grade, third grade. Now you're in school. Now the school have you to pledge to the banner, in which they call a national flag. Okay? The truth is, it's a star-spangled banner. It's not the national flag. This is the national flag. Understand that. This is the national flag. This is the North America, Northwest of Mexico, Northwest Africa, the Morocco, the Moroccan flag. What you see in school every day, what you see Trump standing behind, Trump standing in front of, it's a banner. What the football players take a stand to, it's a banner, it's not a flag. Understand that. Okay? Now, the Star Spangled Banner is a national anthem of the United States of America. That's all it is, a national anthem. It's a banner, not a flag. Because you don't hear democracy or Democrat when pledging to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the what? They don't say Democrat, they say Republic. So understand, you know, it's not for us, man. It's for our kids. We done did it. I done pledge allegiance to the Democrat thinking it's the Republican for many years. So now that I done came into the knowledge, hey, my job is to pass it on. I'm just a messenger. Remember, teachers do not teach civic, law, constitution in history class. They teach his story. His story. God in the clouds coming to rapture you if you don't pay your tithes or be good or whatever the case may be. But that is nothing but his story. Understand that you was born sovereign. You was born the Lord. You is the ruler. You is the highest supreme chief. You is God. Understand that. You is God. You just have to open up your pineal glands and understand that you is God. Understand that, okay? And I'm just here to teach. Whatever you don't know, I'm just here to teach. If you already know what I'm teaching, then I'm not teaching. Understand that. Understand. Then they tell you George Washington was the first president. The truth. He was the 9th president. I'm not going to go into that topic right now, but I guarantee you he was the 9th president. Understand that? Because Abraham Lincoln was the last Republican president. 1861. Thank you. And if you don't know, and if you don't believe me, just go to the George Washington, to Muhammad, Abdullah of Morocco, the Sultan of Morocco, and read the letter. Read the letter. New York, December 1st, 1789. Read the letter. Read the letter and you'll understand that he wasn't the first president. But that's what the colonizers told the teachers to teach. Remember, everything is up under the state. Everything is up under their jurisdiction. So they keep us dumbed down in the school. Understand that. I was dumb. I was dumb for a long time. Through the whole school year, I was dumb. I didn't know. But I done came into the knowledge, so don't act like I knew then. I didn't know then, but I know now. So understand that. Brother Dean is just a messenger. So, Christopher Columbus, they said, Christopher Columbus discovered America. Really? The truth. America means, and I quote, an aboriginal or one of the various copper-colored native found here on America's soil by the Europeans. Here on the American continent by the Europeans. So we are the Native Americans, not the Europeans. The European emigrated to America. So they are the true immigrants, not the Haitians, not the Cubans, not none of that other stuff that's on American soil. Remember, you have a North America, Central America, South America, and adjoining islands. All that is America. All that is American states. Haiti is American state. Okay? So understand that. Bahamas is American state. Understand that. Understand that. Okay? So, the Moors not allowed to join the military because we're not allowed to be a U.S. citizen. So nowhere in where we'll become that. So understand that. When you join the military, you is fighting in their war. United States is bankrupt. Not the American soil. Not the land of your foremothers and forefathers. Understand? American soil is the land, not the United States. The United States is bankrupt. So you is fighting the United States war, not the land. Okay? Remember, the United States is a corporation. It's not the land. When you leave the land and you board the U.S. ship, you become a colonizer. You become their slave. Understand that. And one thing I don't do, I have fellow members, I have partners, family members that teach the word. But I do not step on nobody's territory of religion belief. My job is to bring you back into the Republican fold of government and tell you the truth. For anybody going to church, if you don't know about the Nicaea Council 325 AD, you haven't learned nothing. Understand that. Remember, when you believe in things that you don't understand, you suffer. Religion ain't the way. When you believe in things you don't understand, then you suffer. Religion ain't the way. Okay? And understand this, my people. Hosea 4 and 6. My people suffer for a lack of knowledge. I repeat, Hosea 4 and 6. My people suffer for a lack of knowledge. Okay? So now that we goes in, you done got kind of, you're up in the ages now, kids need driver's license, kids need this, Understand, you don't need driver's license to go from point A to point B. You only need a driver's license if you is doing commerce, commercial commerce, which means getting paid to do a thing for profit. Remember, you're a corporation, so income is corporate. Wages is natural. Income is corporate, wages is natural. Okay, so when you go to work, it's giving your labor and energy. That is wages, not income. But at the end of the year, you sign an income tax, not knowing that you is under the corporation signing an income tax. But if you a natural person, you is working for labor and wages, hard labor and wages. They do not supposed to tax that. Okay, now you think you need a driver's license to drive when you don't need a driver's license to drive. Driver's license is for commerce purpose only. Understand that, family. You might get pulled over by an officer and he might ask you, driver's license, please. And you might say, it's my constitutional right to travel. He might ask you, what statute is that? Well, Title 49 USC 31308, it states that driver's license is for commercial purpose only. So, you was violating my rights and hinder me of traveling. So you got to understand this, man. You have to learn the Constitution, the civics, the laws. Understand that, gentlemen. I was dumb. And understand that driver's license is for commercial purpose only. Commercial purpose. Commercial purpose is when you being paid to do such a thing for profit. Okay? Brother Dean, what is the definition of commercial driver's license? Well, I quote, license is issued by the state to an individual, authorize the individual to operate a Class A of commerce motor vehicle. I repeat, commercial driver's license means a license issued by a state to an individual, authorizing the individual to operate a class of commercial motor vehicle. Motor vehicle? No, you was driving an automobile. You was not driving a motor vehicle, because the definition of motor vehicle is, in our quotes, the term motor vehicle is defined by the United States Code, Title 18, Part 1, Chapter 2, Section 31, A610, states the following. 10. Used for commercial purpose. The term used for commercial purpose means the carriage of person or property for any fare, fee, charge, or otherwise consideration, or directly or indirectly in connection with any business or other undertaking intended for profit. Now you see, motor vehicle is for carriage and cargo only when you're making a profit. That is the income. That is commercial. That is commerce. Understand it, family. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay? And motor vehicle Okay? So ask yourself if you're driving or traveling. Because if I'm going to the game or going to a club, I'm strictly traveling, not driving. But if I put you in my car and I'm doing Uber, Lyft, bus driver, taxi cab driver, any sort of that nature, I am acting as a driver or I'm in a capacity of a driver. Understand that. Understand when you're operating a motor vehicle, you was traveling on the land of your foremothers and forefathers, and you are not driving a motor vehicle. Understand the difference between traveling and driving is when you're traveling in your private property automobile, you is operating your automobile, you are traveling on the land of your foremothers and forefathers and not driving in a corporation, which is a paper trail. A paper corporation is nothing but paper. You cannot drive in a paper. You cannot drive on a paper. You cannot drive in a paper. You cannot drive in a fictitious name. Driver's license is a fictitious name. It's got something to do with commerce. You cannot you cannot travel in commerce. You only can drive in commerce. Okay, so you cannot travel on a paper. You cannot travel on a corporation. You only can travel on a land which was here by your foremothers and forefathers. Understand that? Okay? You know, you get pulled over and the police ask you driver's license and registration, please. And once again, you just tell the police, I'm not driving, I'm traveling, and that my guest sitting next to me, he's the guest, he's not a passenger. Because when they say passengers get out the car, they really mean a passenger is paying you to drive him wherever his destination is. So you got to understand the words, people. Don't get twisted out here. Remember, I was dumb. And understand, if you believe in things that you don't understand, then you suffer. Suffer for a long time. And it's not for me. It's for my offspring. It's for my grandbabies. It's for my nieces. It's for my nephew. It's not for me. I done got old in this thing, man. It's for the people that's behind me. It's for my offspring. It's for my siblings that's behind me. So the same thing goes for you. It's not for you. You might say, hey, man, I'm 50 years old. I'm 60 years old, man. I can't. Why do this now? And I've been traveling with my driver's license all these years. Well, it's not for you, my brother, my sister. It's for your siblings. It's for your offspring. It's for the people of your siblings that's coming behind you. They're the ones going to suffer, not you. So understand, the first business of order today, the first order of business and the last order of business is to nationalization. Nationalization. Nationalize. Not naturalize. Nationalize. It is imperative that you nationalize first by declaring you are a national citizen. More, so that you can take your seats amongst the affair of men. Understand that, family. I'm not going to be here too long. I was just hitting you with that note. I am Gabor Alyosha Bey, Morris American, natural person, and corporeal persona, and not pro se. Peace. Islam.